Welcome to NEXTGames Limbus series. Now starting with the June 2025 update, Limbus has undergone an entire revamping. In its present form, you will be able to upgrade all of your artifact and relic armor from +3 to +4 using this event. Now in the future, more content for it will be released, but at this time, the totality of this event is simply farming points needed for this upgrade called units. Now let's talk about what the upgrade process looks like while you see me working on the Eastern Tower of Temenos. Now if you want to upgrade your artifact armor, you want to go into Apollyon. If you want to upgrade your relic armor, you want to visit Temenos for your units. Now the amount of units needed to upgrade each piece is the same between the two zones. All head pieces will take 20,000 units, body pieces 30,000, hands 15,000, legs will cost 25,000 units, and lastly feet 10,000 units. So in total, you would need to farm 100,000 points to upgrade all 5 pieces of a single type for your job. Now you can earn only a total of 50,000 units each week in the 2 areas of Apollyon and Temenos. And getting those 50,000 a week will definitely take a bit of work based on what I'm seeing, especially for a soloer, but it's still very early and I'm sure more potential for earnings and getting more units will come in the future. For now though, let's talk about how this new version of Limbus looks, and in doing so you will see how it is you can earn these units in each zone to upgrade your armor. First, in order to participate in this event, you need to have completed COP Mission 8 and Rhapsody's Event Deal. It seems that they have made it so that people who have previously participated in Limbus and have the cards necessary can simply just enter the zones right away without the need for doing any additional cutscenes or content by simply zoning up at H4 in Altea for Temenos, or by entering swirling vortices at E6 or K6 on the same map to enter Apollyon. Now if you haven't done Limbus before, you will need to click on the question marks at H5, D8, or L8 in Altea after zoning in from one of the 3 main Craig's porters. For a cutscene, you will then need to find an UV enemy on the map and kill them for either the black or white card that is the temporary key item to enter Limbus. Now you will only need to do this once, as upon entering Limbus, your card is immediately going to turn into a permanent key item, making it so you never have to do that again. Now once you're in Limbus, you'll be able to select the current level you want monsters to be with the nearby spheroid NPC. Now for my test, I selected level 119, but you can go all the way up to level 130 right now. Note though that all of the results I'm about to share are going to be based off me selecting that level 119 and going in solo, so your results may be different based on either the level you choose or your party size. Once you have selected your level, head up to the teleporter and select the map you want to go to. Now Temenos has a total of 4 zones: North, West, East, and Central. The first 4 each have 7 floors, and the final one has 4 floors, for a total of 27 floors in Temenos. Now Apollyon has a Northwest and Northeast zone that both have 5 floors each, and a Southeast and Southwest zone that each have 4 zones each, making for a total of 18 zones here. Now you can be in an alliance of up to 18 players for this content, or try to solo it like you see me doing here. Now you can only have a total of 3 trust in Limbus, so you want to make sure that you focus on haste capping yourself, and then healing trust for the rest of them like you see me do here. Now your goal is to enter all 27 or 18 floors of your chosen Limbus and get the key item on each of those floors. To get that key item, you need to defeat enemies on that floor to fill the bar in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Now how many enemies are needed to be defeated will depend on the chosen level of the floor and how many people are in your party. Now in my test, with level 119 enemies selected, I needed to kill 4 enemies on the north, west, and eastern regions to get the key item, and 5 enemies to get the central floor's key item. Now once you get the key item, it will show in the log, and you will finally be rewarded with some units. Now in my example, it was 60 units per key item on north, west, and eastern floors, and 120 per floor in the central region. Now once you have your key item on the floor, there is no reason or benefit to killing additional enemies. Find the porter on the map that takes you to the next floor, which keep in mind is different from the one that you entered the floor from, and take it to the next floor you need. Now once you have the key item from all 27 or 18 floors, you can then go to the last floor in one of the regions and open the chest. Doing so will reward you with either 3,000 or 5,000 units. I was fortunate enough to get 5,000 in my first climb of Temenos completed today, but I am told many are getting 3,000, so it's kind of unsure yet what dictates how many you get. This meant that after my first 2 hours or so in Temenos, I had cleared all 27 floors and earned 6,860 units. It also informed me that I could open this chest 4 more times this week. Now I'm unsure at this time if I'm being offered this number of 4 due to me not completing any chests last week, or whether 5 chests per week is the limit in each zone, so time will further clarify that. I've also not done any Apollyon runs, so I will be sure to do another video here within the next week discussing how it compares. Now in regards to what I did see in regards to my Temenos runs, I found that the 7 floors in the north and western regions were quite easy to both kill enemies and get around. Sneak and Invisible allowed me to bypass all enemies once I had gotten my key item on a particular floor, and there appeared to be about a 50% reduction in my weapon skill and skill chain damage. However, my magic burst damage seemed to do very well, so my best damage output was achieved by doing 2-step light skill chains with dual rate and magic burst. Usually I'd kill the enemy and 1 to 2 skill chains, making for some fairly quick kills. Now this changed for Temenos East and Central, where there ended up being many Limbus-based enemies that were true sight or sound, making for some aggro on the way to the exit porter. I ended up finding it easiest to start by finding the exit porter on these floors, and then dealing with any aggro I'd gotten right then and there. Now being that the enemies were only level 119 and I was on Ninja, I didn't find groups of up to 10 enemies unmanageable to take on at the porter, but it of course does take you some time to kill them all, which slows down your progress, since you really only need to kill 4 to 5 per run, and the rest are kind of a waste. I also found a few Gra mobs in eastern Temenos that were more resistant to magic burst damage than other mobs around Limbus, and they took far longer to kill, so normally you want to avoid those if you can. There is also another way people have reported to get units, that's through finding question marks on the ground throughout these zones that have a shimmering point effect on them. Now they're going to randomly pop up all over the place from what we've determined, and they have unknown spawn conditions at this time. Now if you happen to find one of these, click on it, and everyone in your group will get several thousand bonus units. Now I'm sure determining the spawn conditions of these will be key to creating more efficient runs for this content in the future. Now I went in with my Red Mage sub-job for all of my runs and found it quite useful, as I was able to silence mage enemies to make it easier to pull them towards the porter, and sleep and bind enemies before the porter to slow them down while I use the time to take the porter to the next floor to not waste time killing any unnecessary enemies. Be sure to take creative use of the tools you have available to speed up your runs as well. That's about all I have to share for this first introductory video into the series. I'm going to work on clearing Apollyon this week at least a time or two and report back soon with another video on what to expect there. Thanks so much for watching everyone, enjoy the new content, and we'll see you next time.